Few words about you before we start reading poetry. You were born in Bucharest into a family of actors. You studied acting at the National University of Theatre and Film, and you have played on Bucharest's main stages ever since you have graduated. In cinema, you collaborated mostly with Radu Jude, who was our guest on this ship last year. Some of you might remember. Your first main role was also in a film by Radu Jude, Angela, in the movie Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World. It's a dark and hilarious comedy which also features German actress Ida Hoss. And that has been acclaimed as one of the best films of the last year by people like John Waters or Edgar Wright. They said so. And you are said to be an outspoken feminist, fed up with mainstream theater and eager to use the possibilities of cinema. And hopefully poetry, at least for today. Right. Okay. Radu Jude, who you have worked with many times. He likes to combine humor and darkness, as we have seen in Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World, which is very dark and fierce, but also very funny. And it's a movie about the economics of filmmaking. If there was a perfect role for you to play, what movie would that be?
I don't know if there is a perfect role, but for me, what happened during filming Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World, and afterwards it was life-changing experience, and it sounds big, but actually it is. I mostly do theater in Romania, and I do it since 2008. And I don't feel so much represented by the theater scene there because it's very conservative, very formal. We touch subjects that don't hurt so much our society. Out of I don't know why, but it's just the way it is, and I'm frustrated because of this. And that's why I started to develop an online character that I developed that appears in the movie. And I'm talking about this toxic male avatar, Bobica. And I created it because I somehow wanted to recycle all this dirty, hideous language that men use and social dynamic that men use with women in order to dominate us, and it's a structure of power that I find everywhere in my working place, but in the social environment everywhere. And the fact that I was casted in this movie, and also what I created personally on my social media platforms since 2021, it was such a empowering thing that happened to me that it's like the perfect role. I don't know if it's the perfect role, but I was in the perfect situation that I needed in my life at that time.
We've chosen a poem for us today by Teona Gargoțiu. She was born in Bucharest, just like you. She's a little younger than you. She's a director and a poet. And her first volume of poetry, called I Look Back and It's Gone, was published in 2020. You know her in person, your friends? Is there also a professional connection between the two of you?
I know her personally. She's much younger than me because I know her since she was born. And she started writing poems in her adolescence or a little bit earlier, but since she was very young, and she was absolutely brilliant, and and now she's a filmmaker. She finished the University of Theatre and Cinema in Bucharest, and I somehow observed her evolution from a baby to a very articulate young woman, and it's very inspiring to me. She's very outspoken, very clever, very. She inspires me a lot, and I wanted to present you a contemporary poem written by a young woman from Romania that also does movies. And yeah, she's amazing.
The poem you read for us is called A Red Ocean. Is there a particular reason for this choice? There's water in it, there's a boat, and I can tell you it's very scary. So did you intend to make a connection to our peaceful little cruise?
I chose it because she's speaking about her father, and her father figure is very present in her movies and in her poetry. Her parents were separated when Leona was very young, and this impacted her a lot, and I resonate with her because I lost my father, who passed away when I was 13, and somehow I relate to losing or not having the father figure very present in your development into a grown, mature woman, and that's why I chose it, because it's written in a very personal way and I connected.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, okay.